Good evening, everyone. We'll call to order the Oxnard City Council Community Services, Public Safety, Housing, and Development Committee for July 9th, 2024 at 6:45 p.m. And Madam Clerk, if find my spot here, if we get a roll call and posting of the agenda, please.
Chair McDonald,
Here.
Member Zaragoza,
Here.
Member Madrigal.
Here.
We have a quorum, and the agenda for this meeting was posted on the City Hall Bulletin Board on July 2nd, 2024.
Thank you very much. If you will all please rise and join me in saluting the flag of our nation. Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. That takes us to B, public comments on items not on the agenda. This would be for comments that would be under the purview of this committee. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
Chair McDonald, yes, we have one public speaker virtually. And it's caller with phone number ending in 4076. Can you press *6 to unmute? And you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Committee Chair, committee members, city staff. I am for sure by now that those of us who live in Oxnard and are sick and tired of these illegal fireworks realize that the city's small detail, consisting of a few public safety individuals and airborne drones, did very little to control this illegal activity. This is no surprise. They were forewarned but chose to ignore the situation. Well, I'm sure they probably issued a few warnings and citations. However, this had minimal impact, akin to using a 5-inch, 8-inch garden hose to fight a forest fire. Sure, you can put out a few hot spots and our embers, but the fire rages on. It takes a large and concerted effort to control the situation. I offered a method which the police chief deemed unreasonable. Sure, it was drastic, but that's what it would take to eliminate or at least better control this illegal nuisance. Since this police chief is very familiar with reasonableness, maybe we can ask him if $691,000 in overtime in 2022 for just one of his officers is reasonable. Is signing this time card reasonable? I guess we all have different definitions of reasonableness. I think it's time that this city starts to get serious about this issue. It's a war zone out there. And it's not only on the 4th of July. It started out late in June, picks up to a crescendo on the 4th of July, then continues on for 3 or 4 more days, I guess, until they run out of fireworks. Yes, it would be difficult to catch the random and periodic use leading up to the 4th. However, on the 4th, how can you miss it? It's all over the city. When is enough enough? Does someone have to be maimed again, or worse yet, killed, or a house fire started? Oh yeah, perhaps someone else's house too, not the one using the fireworks. Would this get your attention? Come on, Oxnard, let's do something about this. Wake up, please. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Madam Clerk, do we have any other additional speakers?
Chair McDonald, we have no additional speakers, virtually or in person, for this item.
Okay, thank you. That takes us to item C, consent agenda. City Clerk Department, approval of the minutes. Recommendation is that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing, and Development Committee approve the minutes of the June 25th, 2024 regular meeting as presented. Have the committee members had the opportunity to review the minutes? And any questions?
So, Mr. City Attorney, I was absent. Can I still vote on this item?
Yes.
Okay, I did read it, yes.
Would you like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a motion by Member Zaragoza, a second by Member Madrigal. Please vote.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, thank you very much. Takes us to item D, reports. From the City Manager's Department, subject is update on citizen advisory groups, also called CAGs, effectiveness and efficiency and direction on the future of the Library Board and Commission on Homelessness. And the recommendation is that the Community Services, Public Safety, Housing and Development Committee, 1, receive an update on the efforts to evaluate and support the effectiveness and efficiency of the 6 CAGs. 2, provide direction on staff's recommendation to dissolve the Commission on Homelessness. And 3, provide direction on staff's recommendation to restructure the Library Board. Pursuant to Measure M, there was a pre-recorded video presentation on the city's YouTube channel. And at this point, I have 2 requests to speak on this item. I start out with Arlene Carter.
Testing, can you hear me? Thank you. First, I just want to thank everyone, commend anyone that's working with the homelessness and the commission because it is really needed. And I appreciate everything that Oxnard has done. So I want to thank you for that. I wanted to be part of the July 1st meeting, and I was told that they did not have a meeting, and they did not have one in June. But I think it's really needed, and I wanted to be a participant and be a volunteer to work to help with the homelessness any way I can. And that's what I wanted to say today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Madam Clerk, I also have Amelia B. as a call-in person. Do we have her online?
Chair McDonald, Amelia is currently not available virtually or in person.
Okay. And Ms. Golden or Mr. Ramirez, I don't know if you want to provide any amplifying comments on this, or?
Sam did the majority of the report, Samantha Shapiro, and she's here and can provide an overview as well, or a summary if that would be helpful. If not, we also have staff that are available to answer any questions.
Okay, let's see. Committee members, do you have any questions on this issue?
No, but I have a recommendation.
Okay. Any question?
No real questions, just.
Okay. What's your recommendation?
Okay, I'll read this recommendation. Mr. Chair, this time I believe that we're missing some information to make a recommendation on this item. I'd like to request that staff continue this item and come back to the committee after collecting 2 items. Number 1, bring this item back for consideration once we have determined that there's a determination of the State Attorney General Council. We cannot have a discussion on the structure of the library board until we know how the AG response is. Number 2, have staff provide more comprehensive overview of the Ventura County continuum of care, including programs that offer grants, administration, and success rates. If council is being asked to prioritize the city's involvement in this body, whether through the commission or homelessness, I believe that we need more details and results before we can make any additional decisions. And lastly, I would recommend that if we do consider this item to come back, any appointments to the 2 CAGs be not staffed or continue on this, adding more commissioners to this item until it comes back to the committee. That would be my recommendation.
I will chime in with my comments. I had similar comments. My questions to staff earlier were, in regards to continuum of care, do we have a seat on the board? I'm told that we have 1 member that represents Oxnard on that board, Mr. Ramirez. And I think I agree with the concept and philosophy, because when we go out and do our homeless work and our cleanups and everything else, we really do it through a model that's inclusive of county resources and city resources. So to me, it makes sense, but I want to make sure that if we move forward to the continuum of care, I recommend the continuum of care approach, that we have an absolute and clearly heard voice at the table on that committee. And I also see that there's a advisory committee to the continuum of care group. I want to make sure that we get good representation on that group also, if at all possible. So I would be okay with asking to continue this until we can get more specific answers. Member Rodrigo, do you have any comments?
No, I'll agree with both of your comments.
Okay, so it sounds like the consensus is to ask for this to come back with more information. Do we need to make a motion for that, or?
Yes, but I could also have Emilio provide just a general overview in case there's more specific questions. He does sit on the board now and attends those monthly meetings. Would that be helpful to provide that context now?
Okay.
Thank you, committee members. Emilio Ramirez, Housing Director. Yes, the Continuum of Care does have a governing board. I do sit on that governing board. I represent the city of Oxnard as an entity that serves homeless with a shelter that is a recipient of federal ESG dollars. I represent that sector of the population that is public service. In other words, an employee of a public agency. I'm not sure that there are current vacancies on it, but I'm positive that if there are vacancies, that the Continuum would welcome additional potential opportunities, which I'm happy to present. They would have to comply with the board governance structure. In other words, it cannot be overwhelming by city employees or by community members or by providers. Have to be an even representation of the people that are out there. So if there is an opportunity, I'm happy to present. In addition to which, the Continuum of Care does have a variety of committees that serve a variety of different functions. And we are represented on those committees as well. Michael Skinner, who is in the audience, and our internal homeless staff at the housing department does serve on 2 such committees. And so we do have representation on the Continuum of Care, the governing board, and various committees at various levels. We are committed to remain on that, in that structure. By no means do we have to. I do think it's valuable for us to do so. And in that structure, the Continuum of Care is mostly about funding. It is a requirement of funding sources, and it identifies how those funding sources are allocated throughout the county. And so whenever there is a new NOFA that they issue or a funding opportunity, we are at the table to identify how those funding sources could be allocated, inclusive of which is that funding come to the city of Oxnard. They have funded the shelter on K Street. They have funded other initiatives, street outreach, etc. So those things continue to offer. But also to ensure that that funding and therefore the services be provided countywide. So sometimes when I'm at the board, I advocate for funding to come to the city, but I also advocate for City of X to also offer services in the City of X, and that the Continuum of Care fund those other services because they should be throughout the county, not only in Oxnard. So in both cases, I represent the need of the homeless population, the need of the City of Oxnard, but also having a diversity of services throughout the county.
Okay, thank you. I think that's a good approach, because I think it would be naive at best to take a position of our unhoused population doesn't go outside the city of Oxnard, when I think they most likely very well do. And I think the team approach on a countywide level is a better way to go, but I want to absolutely be sure that Oxnard's voice is heard at the table, not only at the Continuum of Care level, but also on the subcommittee levels too. So I'd like maybe a little bit more information on the subcommittees that they have, the makeup of those committees and the areas they serve. So it's sounding like there's going to be
Motion.
I don't think we need a motion. I think
Okay,
we just
continue.
table it and ask it to come back with more specific information.
Be happy to do so.
The board has asked you.
Mr. Chair, can I add additional information?
Sure.
I just, like I said, I believe there's information missing on this item, and we still need to hear from the state attorney general and the library and so forth. But I just want to share that staff, and I want to say, Mr. City Manager, staff did an excellent job on this report. Emilio, they talk about Casa de Carmen, the Navigation Center, the encampment response, Turning Point, all the people that are helping us out. I just want to share with you that I just want additional information that can come back, and once we have the Attorney General potentially agree with us, that potentially we can take the two items together, but I just want to commend, staff, Ashley and Samantha for the excellent job that they did on this report. And I don't want that to go past, staff or past the public, but with additional information, I think it can get better results and be, actually recommend to the city council that potentially the Attorney General can help us out with the library board. And the library board, as was mentioned before, has been together since, 1906 and so forth. And Emilio, I just want to say thank you for the good work.
Thank you. Actually, it was Samantha that did all the work, so she's doing.
Samantha, thank you for but thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there's a saying in management that good leaders surround themselves with good workers.
There you go.
You did a good job, Mr. Ramirez.
Thank you.
Councilman, or Member Madrigal, any additional comments?
No, just thank you everyone for the hard work, and to the volunteers, thank you for your service in all of the commissions that they may serve in.
Okay.
And Arlene, thank you so much for your input. Thank you.
So this item will come back to us at a later date. That takes us to trying to figure out where I put my glasses so I can see what I'm looking at here. Items for future agendas. Are there any items for future agendas?
No.
None of my part, sir.
Hearing none. That takes us to our final item, adjournment. We stand adjourned at 7:01. Thank you all very much.
Okay, thank you.